first person I've ever seen out here. The world isn't just black and white. There's things in the middle, too.
Please.
Open your eyes.
Yes, mother.
Protect. Heal.
Yes.
Destiny.
Child.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
I woke with a start, sweating and shaking. My heart was beating hard in my chest, the sound echoing through my head. Oh shit, we woke him up too. Fawn sat up in the speed of light, jumping to his feet.
What is it?
I took a moment to calm my breath, waiting for it to return to normal.
No, nothing. I just had a weird dream. I keep having the same one.
Oh my gosh. I thought you were dying or we were being attacked or something.
Oh, he's so sweet.
But what happened in your dreams to scare you so much?
What part was scary? I thought back over it carefully. A booming voice, darkness all around me. I'm not exactly sure if it was scary to begin with. But every time, they seemed to get more powerful. Two men sharing the same bed, waking up shouting, you right, though.
I don't really know. There's voices. Loud, powerful, booming voices. They keep telling me something. To open my eyes about destiny.
Vaughn stopped for a minute, like he does occasionally when he's thinking about what to say.
Maybe it means something? It could be some kind of vision.
Vision? Things like that don't exist, though.
What do you mean?
Really? I've heard there are some people with strange abilities, so I don't see how having visions is much different.
But we've always been taught that... Just forget it. I'm sure they don't mean anything.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. You might be right. I was just thinking out loud.
You know, you don't need to apologize so much. Especially not for talking. You didn't do anything wrong.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I mean... Okay.
Fawn quickly busied himself, moving around the room and preparing food. I looked outside. The sun was just starting to show in the distance, so it was still early. A light mist spread out through the trees. We ate more scavenged food and watched the sun as it rose up above us. Something about all of this seemed too normal, like I'd already spent a lifetime here. The events of a few nights ago seemed so distant. All that exists is now.
Rain, I was thinking. I know we've only just met. Would you
Marry me?
like to live with me?
Oh my god, a single night and he's asking us to move in. Chat, it's happening.
Seriously? You'd let me do that?
Well, I've just been here alone for a long time. I think if you left now, it would start to get a little lonely.
Come with me. We could go everywhere together.
I can teach you how to live here. Where to go, where not to go. I'm sorry if that's too forward.
I mean, I'll live with you.
We've only just met after all. What am I thinking? Sorry.
It's not like I have anywhere else to go. Like he said, he hasn't seen anyone else out here. We might as well stick together if he's offering. The only other option would be to wander around alone. I don't ever want a repeat of my first night out here. Alone, cold, scared. Plus, he has the kind of face that makes me want to look after him. Watching him babble like this is kind of endearing. Oh my god, we're in love.
I would be very happy to stay here with you, if you'll have me.
Oh my god, we're moving in.
Really? I was sure you'd say no.
His face brightened up instantly, a smile crossing his lips. He really does want me to stay.
Then how about I show you around a bit today? Only if you want to.
If I'm really going to live here, I'll have to learn my way around. I can't just trail after Fawn forever. He's doing me enough of a favor by letting me stay.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I like that.
I ate the last of the red berries whilst I got dressed, the sweet taste lingering on my tongue for a while afterwards. Thank you for the good luck, Lucky. We're gonna do great. We're gonna go on an adventure. We're gonna find the husbandos, and we're gonna learn to not be dumb. I spent the day wandering around the forest while Fawn gave me the lay of the land. He showed me a few landmarks I could use to get back to his house if I ever got lost. I quickly learned which berries were safe to pick and which could poison you just from touching them. He said there's a lot of deadly plants around, so it's best to ask if I'm not sure. It was like he knew everything. I suppose when you only have yourself to depend on, you can be a walking encyclopedia. His eyes lit up as he explained topic after topic. It was obvious he really enjoyed having someone to talk to. It's actually a little sad that he's been all alone these years.
Oh, I kind of forgot about it before, but do you ever cook anything? I notice you've only eaten vegetables and fruits.
Cook anything?
Yeah, like on a stove. Or maybe you just use a fire. I'm actually pretty good at cooking.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't usually. Fire is... No, I usually just eat fresh food.
Oh, he has trauma with fire, guaranteed.
Huh, I see. Well, I'd love the chance to cook for you at some point.
Oh my. The sun was high overhead, swimming in the vast blue sky. There wasn't a cloud in sight, yet it still felt cool as a soft breeze washed over us. We've spent the day so far wandering from place to place, exploring and talking. Aurelia Cavella felt like so long ago already. Honestly, it was fun. My chest felt light for the first time in days, just like hanging out with a friend. It felt normal. Yeah, friend or like friend, you know. You gotta bang. Sorry. I'm thinking about our meeting, you know. Slowly, with all the time in the world, we'd been collecting items from the riverbank we'd met at just yesterday. A worn blanket, slightly damp, but Fawn assured me it's still usable. A vase, the handle off a door.
Where does all this stuff come from, anyway?
I glanced towards Fawn, who's struggling with a mountain of random objects in his arms. He dropped something to go pick it up, then dropped 5 more things in the process.
Give me some of those.
Thank you. As for where it all comes from...
He looked out into the distance, quiet for a moment.
I think this river connects to a large town, not far from here. I guess they must dump things into the river, and they come downstream and get caught on the banks. Giving them another use is better than letting them sit here. It makes me sad to see the wilderness so full of trash.
Well, we do have a river running through town. I've never seen anyone dump anything in it, though.
There's just so much here. It's hard to believe it was all just dumped.
It could be a different town. I've never been there, so I'm not sure.
There he goes again.
What do you mean? It could only be Aurelia Cavella.
But there's a few other places nearby, too.
Are you sure you aren't a little confused?
Oh my god, Raen.
Where else would there be? It's just the forest. I don't think there would be a lot of others like you living out here.
But that's not...
Uh-oh. Before Fawn could respond, we heard a low growl come from the bushes to the left of us. I didn't even have time to think. Neither of us had the chance to react before an animal bounded out of the grass straight towards me.
Watch out!
I braced myself for impact, but it never came. Instead, I was shoved and fell to the ground. From the ground, I could finally get a good look at the thing that was slowly circling around Fawn. It was small and gray, teeth bared from a snarl.
Look at the dog! Look at it! It's so cute. I want to pet it. I want to pet it and put it in pajamas and put little boots on it and make it adorable. Oh my god, we pet the pupper.
What am I saying? A wolf. It must be young by the size of it. Its dark eyes were set on Fawn, unmoving. Before it could get to me, Fawn pushed me away and took my place. What's he thinking? This is dangerous. Fawn stared back at the furious animal, not backing down. He slowly took small steps away from the animal, careful not to show his back.
Rain, just get up slowly and sneak away. I'll deal with this.
The hesitation was gone from his voice. The jittery, nervous Fawn I'd gotten used to was nowhere in sight.
Leave! We aren't scared of you!
In large motions, he waved his arms as he shouted. He was either trying to scare it or distract it long enough for me to get away.
Rain, quickly!
His voice was quiet but powerful, commanding. Making sure not to make too sudden of a movement, I crept from my place on the rocky ground, shuffling away from both Fawn and the wolf. My heart was beating 1,000,000 times a second. I could hear the pounding in my ears and feel it throughout my whole body. Please, lords, let them not hear it too. Fawn glanced at me at the corner of his eyes, still not turning away from the wolf.
Go back to the house. I'll leave after you.
I can't leave you here! You could.
It both started and was over in the blink of an eye. The wolf jumped straight at Fawn. Swiftly, he raised his arms to shield himself and ducked to the ground. When the wolf was directly over his head, he lifted his arms and just enough to touch it and threw it into the river. The wolf crashed into the water, splashing about and whining loudly.
Quick, now!
We both picked up the pace, running away from the river as fast as possible. Fawn grabbed my arm and pulled me along in a vice-like grip. Behind us, all we could hear was furious splashing.
I thought we were meant to go slowly!
Did the puppy just drown, motherfuckers?
Oh, I'm gonna riot if that happened.
There's no time. Just go!
We gotta save the dog, man. Are you kidding me?
Why did we leave the puppy?
Fawn nearly pushed me up the rope, hurrying me into his house. As soon as he reached the top, he pulled it up after us. I collapsed to the floor in a heap, panting. Fawn did the same.
What? What just happened?
I don't know. They've never been aggressive towards me before. We're friends. Or at least, I thought we were. He usually listens to me. I feed him when I can.
Oh! My breathing may have nearly returned to normal, but my heartbeat was nowhere close. I looked towards Fawn. Something red was dripping down onto the wooden floor.
What? You're hurt!
With a downcast expression, he rolled up his sleeve and examined his arm. Long red lines of blood dripped down and splattered along the floorboards, standing out as clear as day. He hid it behind his back, like a child with something they shouldn't have.
We have to bandage it or something.
I know a little bit of first aid, enough to help us look after the kids at home, but is it enough for this? He had piles and piles of random bits of cloth around the room, but every time I tried to pick one up...
Wait, not that one.
Oh, Fawn.
I just found that the other day.
Man.
Fine. If you really won't let me bandage it, then at least let me look at your arm.
I didn't wait for his objections. He turned his arm to face me. I think the blood made it look a lot worse than it was, but it looked quite painful. I reached out to take hold of it.
You could have been killed. You need to be more...
Lies. You have been lied to. Protect him. Destiny, open your arms.
What the fuck?
Take his pain.
Where am I? A loud voice boomed through my ears. I couldn't see anything. It was just me, the darkness, and that voice. In the distance, I could see a light, bright like the sun on an early summer's day. I reached out towards it, my fingertips barely brushing against the cool radiance.
Rain, what's wrong?
When I opened my eyes, I hadn't moved after all. I was still in Fawn's house, holding onto his arm. As soon as my fingertips touched Fawn, my vision went black. What just happened? The darkness was gone, and so was the voice. Everything was back to normal. I've been breaded! Before I could open my mouth, a bright light flashed out between Fawn's arm and my hand. Flashbang. Holy shit. The pain started in my fingertips and traveled upwards, all towards my arm. An agonizing, burning pain, not unlike that day. Before my eyes, the wound on Fawn's arm stitched back together until all that was left was a line of dried blood.
Huh?
My arms began to ache in response. When I rolled up my sleeve to look, my jaw nearly hit the ground.
What is this?
It hurts. I must ask you a question, Chet. Blood started to run down my arm and drip onto Fawn's wooden floor, just like it did only moments ago. It really hurt. We took his wound for ourselves? Is this what Fawn felt? The same gash that was on Fawn's arm was now on mine. I locked eyes with Fawn. He looked just as confused as I did.
Huh? What did you just do?
I don't fucking know, dude. Magic the Gathering?
That wasn't you?
He shook his head lightly, eyes wide. My mouth hung open in shock. I have absolutely no clue what just happened.
I don't know. I've never... This has never happened before. It's like
you healed me. But now you have it instead.
We took his fucking pain? I mean, on one hand, that's kind of cool, but on the other, like, that fucking sucks.
So I guess it's more like you took on my injury in my stead?
What? Just then?
Everything you do in life has an equal reaction and consequence.
You sound like you're from Full Metal Alchemist, I won't lie.
So...
Ouch. You didn't tell me it hurt this much.
He really was hiding how painful this is.
When I touched you, I heard the same voices that have been in my dreams lately.
Hey, yo.
But this time, they were clearer. They told me it was my job to protect you. That I'd been lied to. Something about destiny.
Child.
But my destiny...
I thought back on the judgment I received 18 years ago. The fate that's controlled my whole life up until now, and will continue to do so for the rest of my life. The judgment that I was reminded of at every opportunity. Even if I succeeded, I was pushed back down. After all, what could a useless boy with a useless judgment do in life? It's not something I want to talk about. Not yet.
The judgment I was given when I was born, it was nothing like this. What could this even mean?
Fawn stopped again, thinking.
But destiny is what you make of it, right?
True. Very true.
If you just live your life to what someone told you so long ago, you'll never get anywhere. It's not like you don't have the power to change it.
The destinies we receive are never wrong, though. The speaker is never wrong.
I looked down at the cut on my arm again. My destiny couldn't be wrong. Chunk, we got wet with a man in the woods. We shared a bed. He asked us to move in with him. It was hot. I suddenly remembered the morning I woke up in the forest, the flowers that hadn't been there the night before. Did I have something to do with that? Maybe Fawn is onto something. Or maybe not, I don't know. Despite his temperament, Fawn really has a way with words, I think. I almost believe in what he's saying.
I guess I better bandage this after all.
Yeah, let me help you.
Even though he refused a moment ago, he quickly wrapped my arm up, not missing a beat. No matter how closely I looked at my wound, it didn't go anywhere. It was really there. That really just happened. This could be an amazing gift, but I couldn't help but think about how dangerous it could be. And how come this has never happened before? How could something like this happen out of nowhere?
Oh, Fawn?
He jumped, surprised when I called out to him suddenly.
You were really cool back there, though. I really felt like I could depend on you.
His face flared up as red as a rose.
Who knew you could be so dashing?
Oh! Dashing, you say? Oh my. Oh, it's nighttime. We're gonna share a bed. After everything that happened, it was finally starting to get dark out. The sun was setting over the horizon, leaving the forest cold and quiet.
Actually, there's one other place I'd like to show you today.
It's where I keep the bodies. Imagine if he said that.
Is that a good idea? Do you think the wolf is gone?
Yeah. We'll be going the opposite direction, so... I wasn't actually going to show you this, in case it frightened you.
It's the bodies. It's the fucking bodies.
But I feel like I should. It's the right thing to do.
We finished wrapping my injury in makeshift bandages, and I pulled my sleeve down. What does he mean in case it frightened me?
What is it?
Well, it's kind of hard to explain. But I think you've already seen the effects of it. If your arm isn't hurting too badly, will you come with me? I know how much it hurt, so you don't have to force yourself.
He doesn't usually look so serious, and his words are making me a little nervous, especially after what happened earlier. But I guess after his performance before, I feel like I can depend on him if anything goes wrong. Plus, I've got to show him that I can protect him too. Oh my god!
Yeah, sure.
I followed Fawn down the ladder and through the growing darkness. This time, we walked for what felt like forever. On and on. Everything looked the same as if we were going in circles. My arm throbbed with every step, but there wasn't much I could do about it now. I just had to suck it up. It was already pitch black out here. I hope Fawn knows his way. I watched Fawn's back whilst I walked. He had slim shoulders and a small figure, but he still looked fit. Maybe even more than me. He's probably strong too. He's a power bottom. Oh my god, Chet, he's a power bottom. Muscular, but so slim. I guess living out here, he would have to be pretty in shape. I wonder how long he's truly been alone, and why. It is even my place to be nosy, but I can't help but wonder. I don't think he wants to talk about it, though, and I won't push him. People arrive. Power bottoms? Smash. As Bondos protecting each other. It's so cute, AK. His short hair was messy from running earlier. Well, messier than it usually was, which is saying something, since it's usually pretty wild anyway. At least he's not injured anymore. I felt at my arm, just to confirm the bandage was actually there. Yeah, it really happened. I pulled up my sleeve enough to glance at my other arm. The markings still stood against my skin as much as the day they appeared. These markings, those dreams, Fawn's injury, what connects them? Is it all just one big coincidence? No matter how much I turned those thoughts around in my head, I wasn't getting anywhere. Nothing made sense.
Whoa.
Oh shit. Absorbed in my thoughts, I bumped straight into Fawn when he suddenly stopped in his tracks.
Shh. Look.
I peered out over his shoulder. My body instantly stiffened up. It's his dead collection.
What? What is that?
It's a tree. The forest in front of us was filled with some kind of blue, glowing mist that gently swayed back and forth in an unseen rhythm. The color was unnatural yet beautiful. In the haze, I could almost see faces. Blue, lifeless faces. Oh my god, we see dead people. 1 second they were there, the next there was nothing. As if my mind was playing tricks on me.
The forest spirits. They're angry.
I listened closely to him. My breath stuck in my throat. We stood a distance from the mist and peered out between the trees.
They didn't originally come from here. The town to the west of here. The one that you're so sure is your home. Every once in a while, they dump things out here. Most of the time, you wouldn't be able to tell what they are. But sometimes, they're still whole.
Oh my god, I bet it's the elders. They dumped the dead bodies. I gulped. A cold sweat ran down my arm and my hands shook. I tried to hide them from Fawn, who looked as calm as ever.
Things?
I think you already encountered it before. The arm you found before we met, they've always been here, since before I came. But they're angrier. More now than ever. It's like they're sticking around for some reason, but they don't really want to be here. I can't think of any reason for such a large amount of bodies to be piled up the way they are.
I knew it. It's the elders.
Lately, the flowers haven't bloomed as early. The leaves have fallen from the trees much more quickly. Fruits and vegetables barely grow. The animals stay in my house for safety or hide far away. Something's going on. Plus, that wolf from earlier. The forest seems angry, like it's lashing out at something that hurt it.
I thought back to home, to Aurelia Cavella.
They've been dumping bodies out here?
I couldn't watch them for even a second longer. They were terrifyingly beautiful, enough to make me feel ill. This can't be real. Surely, if I just look away or close my eyes, they'll disappear.
But the speaker says that those that die get buried in Azros, with the elders that live there.
I don't know anything about that. But bodies definitely get dumped out here, and their spirits linger for some reason or another. I wasn't sure I should show you this. I wanted to show you beauty rather than scary things, but you deserved to know. If you want to stay here with me, then you would have found out eventually.
True, I'm glad he told us.
It's better if you learn from me.
True. I held onto the back of Fawn's shirt tightly. There's nothing I could say.
Let's go back now, okay? Just don't come back here by yourself. I've never let myself be seen by them, and I wouldn't want you to find out what they'd do to you if they did.
I looked back at the hazy figures one more time. They floated back and forth silently. It couldn't be true. Yo, we should just get Ty in here. He could, easily determine what kind of spirits they are. He's a phasmophobia expert. None of it's true. Surely they've come from somewhere else. But where? Where else is there? The speaker wouldn't lie to us. My mind flickered back to his icy eyes, the way he stared me down despite never speaking to me before.
Let's go.
I kept a hold of Fawn's shirt as we turned to leave. Something deep inside of me told me not to turn back, but I glanced over my shoulder. The figures had all stopped. They looked like they were staring right at me. Or was it right through me? My head whipped back around. I didn't turn back again. The journey back to Fawn's house was both chilling and uneventful. Even when I expected something to jump out and grab me before dragging me back into the pitch black darkness, nothing came. I held onto Fawn's shirt the whole time, but he didn't seem to mind. So much for acting tough in front of him. My eyes darted around, desperate for something, anything. No matter where I looked, I could still feel those ghostly figures watching me. It's only my imagination, right? It's just the forest. Once we got back to Fawn's treehouse, I went up the ladder as fast as I could, and he quickly climbed up after me. All I wanted was the comfort of walls around me, even if they were in a tree. Dude, what's wrong with the treehouse? It's pretty cool. When I looked at him, his face seemed grim, his expression sullen.
I'm sorry. Would you have rather I didn't show you? I don't know if it was a mistake or not. They've always been there, but they've never left that area. It's like they're stuck there. I don't think they can follow us here, so we're safe. I wouldn't let you be hurt, you know.
Oh my. He looked away from me.
Don't worry, because I'll protect you.
Oh my god, he's precious. He spat out that line before turning around and pretending to be busy. He rolled back around, his face bright red.
What's so funny? I'm being serious.
Oh, I couldn't help it. Rather, I didn't want to help it. It felt good to break the tension.
No, no. I believe you.
It doesn't sound like it.
Sometimes, Vaughn really does seem full of youthful energy. What a brave guy, so dependable. Actually, now that I think about it,
So, Fawn, I know you said you didn't know how long ago you came here, but do you know how old you are?
he stopped what he was doing to think for a moment. His face was still as red as a tomato, though.
I should have turned around 20 this year.
He's older
I
than
think.
us? Oh my god, he's precious.
Whoa, no way! I can't believe I'm younger than you.
This whole time I thought he was the same age as me. His small frame doesn't help that.
Wait, how old are you?
It was my 18th birthday 2 days ago.
You got thrown out on your birthday?
No. He looked pretty upset.
Yeah, but like you said, there's always two sides to anything. I might have left my home, but I wouldn't have met you otherwise.
True. I smiled at him. I wasn't even really exaggerating, it's true. Bad things have happened, but Fawn's been the only reason I've survived out here. So, I have to look on the bright side. Honestly, it feels like we've known each other for much longer than we actually have. It feels natural to be this close to him. I wonder if it's because of his personality. It makes me want to trust him, to get to know him.
I mean...
He covered his bright face up with his hands so I couldn't see him.
Sometimes you say the most romantic, corny things. It's embarrassing.
Oh,
How do you come up with these lines?
Oh.
Romantic?
Oh. I thought the word over in my head. Romantic? Nope, I've definitely never heard it before. What?
What does that mean?
He uncovered his face and looked straight at me.
You know, like, kind of lovey-dovey, mushy,
Lovey-dovey?
you know, love?
Hmm?
We don't know what love is?
You can't be serious.
Oh my god, we don't know what love is.
It's what one person feels for another. And they get married, have kids, be in love, kiss, you know. It's that feeling you get in your chest when you look at someone you want to spend your life with.
This is adorable.
I've never heard of it.
Wow. Maybe this is some kind of forest lingo. Should I try to fit in?
Haven't you seen people in your village in love? With children?
At home. Of course we have children. The speaker usually just pairs people together. We don't get to pick who we end up with. Most of the time it's people of similar positions or class. Then they have children.
It's a fucking cult.
But I've never heard of love or kissing or marriage.
Wow.
You don't have love? Are you telling me it doesn't exist there?
Oh, he's gonna teach us about love, don't worry.
How can that be true? How could anyone survive without love?
Chad, are you ready? Can you teach me what
What's
kissing is?
kissing? Can you teach me?
Ah!
No,
Why not?
that's way too embarrassing.
It'd be fine. He wouldn't make eye contact with me. That made me all the more curious. I feel like I'm missing out on something.
Please? I've never heard of it before.
It's like...
He pursed his lips together.
When you put your lips on someone else's lips, and then, like, move them around a little bit. I've never kissed anyone before, so I'm not really sure either.
Oh my god.
You put your lips together? Why would you want to do that?
Because it feels nice, I think.
I'm a visual learner. AK. Same.
Can we try it?
No!
Why not? Before I could ask any more questions, he leapt into the bed and buried his face in the pillow.
I'm suddenly really tired. Good night.
Oh my god. He seemed kind of embarrassed. Is love embarrassing? How come I've never heard of it? I lay down on my back next to Fawn, arms behind my head. More and more questions. When am I gonna get some answers?
Hey, Fawn?
No response. Either he's too embarrassed or he's already asleep. I quietly stripped down to my underwear. Oh my. I should think of a way to thank him properly. We could have kissed. He fucking ran away. With my eyes closed, I went over everything that's happened in the last few days. This marking. That red-headed man. The speaker.
You look just like your father did.
Did he know my father? How? Why? No matter how much I thought about it, no answer came to me. Instead, I slowly drifted off to sleep to the sound of Fawn gently breathing.
Wake up.
Can I sleep for like 1 fucking second, lady?
Quickly.
No.
Spreading. Awaken.
Oh.
Wake